Hello and welcome to How to Beat Mini, a spin-off of my regular How to Beat series. As opposed to that series, this one is here to give you some basic tips and tricks to play against the good, but not broken of the meta. Our topic of discussion today is Rezael. Rezael is another faded one whose strength lies in its incredibly generic effects and great versatility. Not only can Rezael be played in almost any Keter deck, but he can also use pretty much any Keter support, which leads to his deck typically being referred to as a Keter pile. For Rezael, the name of the game is Revival, and lots of it. On attack, Rezael revives up to 2 units from the drop zone, which enables 4 to 5 attacks per turn. His Divine skill also plays into this theme, putting back crits, giving it an extra drive, and the oh-so-annoying effect of turning every trigger into a 6 damage heal. While Rezael's support is fair in its own right, most of the strength of Rezael comes from the order package, which gets put into pretty much every version of the deck. It gives the deck strong scoring potential in the early game. But really, Rezael's most important card is really Salgout. This annoying little dog is the biggest reason Rezael is playable. Due to Rezael's revival abilities, most Rezael turns involve calling a dog, sacking it off, and then reviving it again in order to sack it off again. This results in the Rezael player being able to amass an enormous hand size while thinning the deck of non-triggers. So what can we do to counter this playstyle? Well, there's actually quite a few. First, you can actually deny the dog by calling rearguards. Selgown does actually have a requirement for you to have more rearguards than the opponent, so you can deny them this by maintaining a full board. That way, if they want to use a dog, they'll have to play an order every turn. Damage denial will do nothing against Rezael, as they have a built-in counter charger that always ensures they have enough CB for Rezael's skill. However, their attack potential is limited by the number of cards in their damage zone, so the less you give them, the weaker their attacks become. While denying damage won't stop Rezael, it can prevent them from using other skills like Nobia or Cabre. Drawing a ton of cards does come at a cost. Rezael is a deck that's very vulnerable to deck out. While the Divine skill does technically counteract this, you'll likely find that most Rezael players aren't going to consider that. Most of the time, you'll probably see the player shotgun the Divine skill on turn 4. However, a smarter Rezael player will be able to identify a grindy matchup and save the skill until they need to prevent deck out. All that being said, it's not too difficult to draw out a game against Rezael. While the deck has a lot of swarm and multi-attack potential, it's tempered by the fact that the numbers don't get very big on their own. Without triggers or Persona Ride, most attacks can be blocked by a single trigger, and the multi-attack doesn't really get threatening until the late game. So there you have it, some basic tips to remember when playing against this deck. Hopefully you can take what you've learned here and win some matches. But that's going to be it from me. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to do those YouTube things, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.